Have you ever looked at her and wondered, am I really the one for her? Or just a convenient chapter in her story? It's a quiet kind of fear, one you carry alone, behind strong eyes and a calm voice. You don't want words, you want proof. The kind that doesn't scream, but stays. If you've ever felt that, if you've ever questioned whether her love runs deep or just flows for now, this video might just be what you need. Because there are signs. Not loud, not obvious, but if you know where to look, they speak volumes. And in the next few minutes, I'll walk you through 6 silent, almost invisible signs that she truly sees you as the one. One of them, it's something most men overlook, and by the time they realize, she's already gone. Let me tell you something real. A friend of mine once dated a woman for over a year. She never said, "I love you" first. Never wrote poems. But every time he was sick, she would cancel her plans, sit by his side, and just hold his hand without a word. He didn't notice until she wasn't there anymore. So if you're that man, quietly wondering, don't scroll past. If you see yourself in this, comment, "That's me." Like the video, and let's find out together. There's something she'll never say out loud, but you'll feel it if you're paying attention. Is how she chooses to spend her time. In a world flooded with distractions, obligations, and countless options, time has become the most honest form of loyalty. When she gives it to you, freely, without negotiation or scheduling, she's telling you something deeper than words ever could. Maybe she cancels a night out just to cook dinner with you. Maybe she waits at the train station when she could have just called a cab. Maybe she stays up late, half asleep, just because she knows you're coming home tired. That's not convenience. That's commitment. Most men overlook this. They assume time is just a byproduct of availability. But real love? It rearranges priorities. Places you not as a task, but as a presence she wants to be around, even in silence. The mistake we often make is looking for grand gestures, long texts, romantic declarations, when the clearest sign was already there. She shows up, again and again. So next time she quietly chooses you over something else, notice it. That's her heart speaking in its native tongue. Action. And if you've experienced this, if a woman has ever given you her undivided time without asking anything back, don't let that go unnoticed. Like this video if that resonates with you, and drop a comment. She gave me her time. She doesn't need to tell you she's paying attention. Because the proof is in the little things. You mention once, just once, that you like your coffee a little bitter with no sugar. A week later, she brings it exactly that way without asking. You casually mention an old scar from when you were a kid. Next time you're shirtless, she traces it gently with her finger and says, "You were wild, huh?" These moments may seem small, but they hold a quiet, powerful truth. She listens not just to your words, but to your essence. This is one of the clearest silent signs that you matter to her deeply. Because remembering details, especially the ones no one else notices, is how a woman builds an emotional map of the man she loves. She's not just collecting data, she's treasuring the story of you. But here's the trap many men fall into. They overlook this form of intimacy. They think love has to be loud to be real. They wait for declarations, for Instagram posts, for "I miss you" texts, and miss the subtle truths hidden in day-to-day moments. What she remembers reveals what she values. If she sees you as the one, she won't need a diary to recall your quirks, fears, dreams, or random snack preferences. Because in her mind, those aren't trivia. They're pieces of the man she's building a future with. So, if she ever remembered something you forgot you told her, pause, smile. That's not just memory. That's meaning. Comment, "She remembered." If a woman ever surprised you this way, and don't forget to appreciate the quiet listeners in your life. Most men misread it. When a woman opens up, when she cries, overthinks, or suddenly gets quiet, they think she's being dramatic, unstable, or insecure. But what if I told you that's actually one of the most powerful signs that she sees you as the one? You see, vulnerability isn't weakness. It's trust. Raw, trembling, unfiltered trust. When she lets you see her fears, when she shares her childhood wounds, her deepest doubts, her anxiety about things that make no sense to you. She's not asking you to fix her. She's asking if you'll stay when she's not perfect. That's a test most don't even realize they're taking. Because for her to let that wall down, for her to let herself be seen without the mask, that means she sees something solid in you. A man who feels safe. And if she didn't care, if you were just temporary, she'd keep that wall up. She'd laugh, flirt, move on. But when she cries in your car at 2 a.m. because something small triggered an old wound, when she texts, "I don't know why I feel like this, but I needed to tell someone," that's not weakness. That's her handing you a piece of herself. And here's the common mistake. Men often try to solve it, talk it away, cheer her up, or worse, pull back. But what she needs isn't a fixer. She needs a witness. So next time she lets her guard down, don't panic. Sit beside her silence. Hold the space. That moment may mean more than any "I love you" ever could. If you've ever experienced this kind of raw, honest moment, comment, "She trusted me." And remember, a woman's tears don't always mean she's falling apart. Sometimes it means she's falling in love. She won't draw you a blueprint of the future. She won't sit you down and say, "Here's our 5-year plan." But if she truly sees you as the one, the future quietly leaks into her words, her choices, her dreams. She'll say things like, "If we ever have a place together, I want a tiny herb garden." Or, "You'd make such a patient dad someday." It's subtle, almost forgettable, until you realize she's placing you in her tomorrow without asking for permission. This isn't about rushing commitment. It's about emotional investment. When a woman sees a future with you, her imagination can't help but include your presence. Not in a clingy way, not as pressure, but as hope, as possibility. And here's what's wild. She may not even realize she's doing it. It's subconscious, because her heart has already chosen you, even if her mouth hasn't said it yet. Most men miss this. They wait for the talk, something official, verbal, clear. But the real signs? They're woven into casual moments, car rides, lazy Sunday afternoons. If she uses "we" instead of "I" even once, if she talks about where you two could travel next year, if she mentions how your quirks would be fun for your kids, that's not by accident. That's vision. So listen closely. Her words might not say, "I love you," but they're quietly saying, "I see you with me, far beyond today." If she's ever dropped those hints, comment, "She imagined us." And if you haven't noticed before, maybe it's time you start listening for the future in her silence. Love isn't always loud. Sometimes, it looks like her quietly making sure your favorite shirt is clean before your big meeting. Or picking up that snack you mentioned once, 2 weeks ago. Or setting her alarm early just to make you coffee, even though she doesn't drink it herself. These aren't random favors. They're quiet acts of devotion. When a woman sees you as the one, she doesn't need a holiday to show love. She builds it into the mundane, into things no one else would ever notice. Not for recognition, not for applause, but because care has become instinct. Think about it. She doesn't tell the world how much she loves you, but your world feels lighter because of her. And yet, we miss it. We're conditioned to chase big gestures, romantic weekends, Instagrammable moments. But real love? It folds your laundry when you forget. It reminds you to call your mom. It places your comfort above her convenience, without needing to be asked. The mistake we often make is equating silence with absence. But in her world, the quiet things are the deepest signs. If she does things for you that seem small, but make you feel seen, that's love. Real, rooted, and rare. So next time she does something you didn't ask for but needed, pause. Look her in the eyes. And thank her. Not just with words, but with presence. Comment, "She showed up silently." If someone has ever loved you this way. Because love that whispers lasts longer than love that shouts. Anyone can love you when you're winning. But when life hits hard, when you're lost, broke, confused, or not your best self, that's when her silence speaks the loudest. If she stays, not because things are perfect, but because you matter even in the mess, that's no longer just affection. That's loyalty. She might not know what to say when you shut down. She might get frustrated when you withdraw. But if she's still there, bringing you food you didn't ask for, checking in even when you don't reply, reminding you softly, "I'm not going anywhere," then brother, read the sign. She sees you, not just your strength. This kind of woman doesn't love the highlight reel. She loves the raw footage. She knows relationships aren't about convenience. They're about commitment, especially when it's not easy. And here's the harsh truth. A lot of people bail when the energy shifts. They fall in love with your potential, not your pain. But the one who stays through your storm, she's not just in love with you. She believes in you. Most men push away during these times. They don't want to be a burden. They hide. They isolate. But what if staying vulnerable, letting her in during the hard moments, is the very proof that you trust her too? So if she stood by you during your worst, don't forget that, ever. Comment she stayed. Because when someone chooses you at your lowest, that love isn't just real, it's rare. So now you know, love doesn't always come wrapped in declarations, gifts, or social media posts. Sometimes, it looks like her sitting beside you in silence when you have no words left. It sounds like her remembering the name of your childhood dog. It feels like coffee at 7 a.m., made just the way you like it, without a single word said. These aren't just gestures. They're signals. Silent but sincere. Let's recap those 6 signs. Subtle yet powerful. 1. She gives you her time, and not out of obligation, but because she wants to be near you. 2. She remembers the tiniest details, because what matters to you matters to her. 3. She shows you her vulnerability, not to be fixed, but to be felt and accepted. 4. She speaks about the future with you in it, without pressure, just genuine hope. 5. She performs quiet acts of devotion, the kind you don't notice until you feel their absence. 6. She stays through your worst, because her love isn't seasonal. It's rooted. And if you've seen even one of these signs, you owe it to yourself and to her to stop second-guessing. Because the women who love quietly, love deeply. And the man who recognizes that, he doesn't just hold her hand, he honors her presence. So take a moment today. Look back at those small things you almost overlooked. And if you see her in them, don't wait. Send her this video. Text her a thank you. Or better yet, be her peace, like she's been yours. If this message hit home, comment, "I see it now." Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe if you believe in love that doesn't need to shout.